Waterson here about some of these fights that are taking place in Chicago. What's up, Michelle? How you doing?
I'm absolutely wonderful. How are you?
Good. Thank you for asking. You're on with George Goes and Dan from MMA Junkie Radio. It's been a while since we have you on the show, and usually it revolves around fighting, but this time you are working the Fox Sports desk, so let's dive into some fights here that are taking place that we want to pick your brain about. Starting off with Megan Anderson and Holly Holm. You know, we were just discussing this. We're at the Mandalay Bay, so we see all the odds coming through. And check this out. Holly Holm is a -230 favorite. Megan Anderson is a +180 favorite, or underdog. Goes, my co-host, was pointed out, Holly Holm's 1-4 in her last 4 fights, and Megan's 4-0 in her last fights. The odds just don't seem to match up. But, you know, we know that Holly's been fighting quality fighters out there. What can you tell us about Megan Anderson?
I was just going to say.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think that's exactly what it is. Holly's been fighting really high-caliber fights for belts. And so I don't necessarily think you can take those losses into account because, you know, a loss isn't just a loss. And you look at the fights and how close of fights they were and how much Holly was able to take away from those fights and grow and develop as a fighter, I think is a big reason why she is not the underdog in this fight. And another reason is nobody really knows much about Megan Anderson. So she is a very well-rounded fighter. She's Invicta champ, but there's not much film about her. Nobody really knows much about her or the opponents that she has beaten.
Can you talk about how much? So you're right. Even though she's gone through a 1-4 spell, she's been competitive in quite a few of those, and a lot of times a fighter can grow even though they're losing, whereas another fighter, if they're fighting inferior competition, it can be a little bit deceiving just how successful they are. But talk a little bit about that growth that a fighter can have even though they may come up short in a high-profile fight.
Well, if I'm just thinking about her last fight against Cyborg, now Cyborg is just a beast of a competitor. She's a great athlete. You know, everybody is, you know, looking to her for this as this 145 champ, as just this unstoppable force. And Holly was able to go 5 rounds with her. And in my opinion, I think that Holly was winning the exchanges when they got into clinch. And that has to be a huge confidence boost for Holly going into this fight against another tall 145, true 145 pounder. And knowing that she was able to hold her own in the clinch against Cyborg, she'll have no problem with Megan Anderson.
Let's move over to your weight class, the strawweight division. Claudia Gadelha, I'm going to throw some odds against you since you seem to be very familiar with how these work. She's a massive favorite at -525 versus the former champion, Carla Esparza. She comes in at +375. So these odds are even more lopsided than the other fight we were discussing. We think Carla's got game, man. She's got some wrestling. She's got experience. And not to say Gadelha isn't outstanding, because she is, but how do you see this fight going down?
I think that both of them are really good at wrestling. So what might end up happening is just turning into a stand-up war because the wrestling will neutralize each other. But again, if we're going back to the reason why Claudia is such a favorite is because the caliber of women that she has been fighting versus the caliber of women that Carla has been fighting. And just Carla was out for a while with different injuries and having to get surgery and such. But in my opinion, I think that, yes, both ladies have really good grappling. But I think that Claudia's stand-up has a bit more power behind it. And so if the fight stays standing, I give it to Claudia. And if she goes to the ground, it really is a toss-up. I think that just training with Claudia here in Albuquerque, I felt her strength. I felt her top pressure, and it's very strong and effective. So if Claudia can get Carla down and keep top position, I see her winning the fight.